Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman. And we are here today to preview for Texas Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Truck Series. So, Jay, I'm looking forward to this one.
I am too. The trucks are back. They didn't race at Talladega, so had a little bit of a break. Always excited to see them back, and certainly at Texas. Go big or go home. Everything's bigger in Texas, so we'll see how the Truck Series comes out of that.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, now the SpeedyCash.com 250 will take place at Texas Motor Speedway. It is a 1.5-mile asphalt oval, but that race is on Friday night. That's May the 2nd. The start time is 8 p.m. Eastern. Fox Sports 1 will have pre-race coverage also at 8 p.m. And then NRN and Sirius XM, NASCAR Channel 90, will also carry coverage. They will race a distance of 250.5 miles over 167 laps. First two stages are 40 laps each. Stage 1 ending on lap 40, stage 2 on lap 80, and then the final stage will be 87 laps ending on lap 167. Now, the Truck Series race, we mentioned that takes place on Friday night. Earlier in the day, though, there will be Xfinity Series practice and Continental Pole qualifying on Friday. So you want to make sure you tune in on that. And that will be on the CW app at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. So have you been looking at the entry list, Jay?
I have, and if you haven't, it's kind of a shock because there are actually only 32 drivers listed for 36 spots. They aren't even close to a full field.
Wow.
Some notable drivers, though, that will be in it. Brandon Jones going to be in the number 1 for Tricon Garage. The number 07 is going to be Nick Sanchez. Carson Hocevar in the number 7. That'll be Aspire Motorsports as well. And then Stephen Parsons in the number 20. I think that might be the lowest driver team count, though, we've seen in the Truck Series.
I think so. I don't remember it being that low before. And we've got a lot going on at Texas with storylines and insights.
It is a history there at Texas Motor Speedway, as this weekend marks the 51st running of a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Texas Motor Speedway. They've run from 1997 to 2025, and that is the most races at any track in the series.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, Texas is also the first of 6 consecutive week stretch of Truck Series races. That's the longest stretch of the season, and the stretch will go through Michigan the first week of June. So, yeah, they took a long break here, but now we're going to get to see them every week, Jay.
Looking forward to that for sure. Now, Texas Motor Speedway is also the third of 5 1.5-mile tracks on the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series schedule. You got Homestead, Las Vegas, Texas now, then Kansas and Charlotte yet to come.
And there have been 5 different winners in the last 5 Craftsman Truck Series races at Texas Motor Speedway. So I would say we might have another different winner this week.
Certainly could with the some of the extra drivers we got listed there. I always look forward to those streaks and seeing the different drivers in competition win races. But 5 of the last 6 Truck Series races have seen a final lead change occur with 9 laps or less to go. And that includes 2 last lap passes. So we might see that there at Texas as well.
Okay. There have been 4 last lap passes for the win at Texas, tied with Mosport for the most among non-drafting tracks in the Truck Series.
Here's another interesting one we might see this weekend, and that is 6 drivers have earned their first career Craftsman Truck Series win at Texas. The most recent was Carson Hocevar, doing it on April Fool's Day, actually, April 1st, 2023. But he's in the race this weekend. He's there to win, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. All right. Now, 2 former Craftsman Truck Series Texas Motor Speedway winners are running full-time this season. That would be Matt Crafton. He has 2 wins in 2014 and 15. And Stuart Friesen. He won in 2022.
I would love to see Friesen get back to victory lane.
Yes.
Now, here, some tracks we talk about leading the most laps, not a good thing when it comes to stats, but the driver who's led the most laps has won 6 of the last 8 Craftsman Truck Series races at Texas. So at Texas, if you're out front all day, you're good to go.
I like that stat. Okay, let's talk about Corey Heim for a minute or two here. Corey Heim leads all active Truck Series drivers in average finishing position at Texas Motor Speedway. He's got a 5.3 in 3 starts, but has yet to win at the track. His best finish at Texas was his second place, and that came in 2024. So even though he's got a high average finishing position, he's yet to win there. So we'll see what happens this week, and it might be Heim time.
Well, and that's not all that unexpected. And it would continue the streak then, as I would not have realized he didn't ever win there. So he wouldn't be in that streak. Now, he does lead the Truck Series driver standings, though, following Rockingham. It's 22 points over Chandler Smith, who's in second, and then a gap to 62 points on Tyler Ankrum, who's in third. Now, Heim has held the points lead following the last 4 races.
And then Corey Heim has led 346 laps so far this season. That's almost twice as much as the next driver, which would be Chandler Smith. He has 187. And Heim is the only driver to lead laps in all 7 Truck Series races so far this season. So a good stats for Corey Heim.
And we're not done talking about him because we got a total of 10 drivers have won stages in the Truck Series in 2025 for this season. But it's led by Corey Heim, who has 4 of them.
All right. And only 1 driver has finished every lap of the 7 Truck Series races this season, 100% of the laps completed. It's Daniel Hemrick. That's a good stat for him.
You know, and I know we've covered this. I wouldn't have remembered that, and I'm glad to see that he's still on that list. I knew it was limited, but that's great for Daniel Hemrick.
It is indeed.
Now, one driver on a personal streak is Tyler Ankrum. He's on a streak of 6 top 10 finishes, including the last 4 being top 5s, as well as his win at Rockingham. And with that, Ankrum ended a 130 race winless streak there at Rockingham, which is the most starts between wins in Truck Series history.
All right. Now, 5 drivers finished top 10 in the first 2 1.5-mile track races of this year. Tyler Ankrum and Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, and Chandler Smith. So, interesting. Those are your top drivers right there.
And we have some other drivers. We got 4 Truck Series drivers that are on streaks of top 10 finishes of 3 or more. Mentioned Tyler Ankrum at 6, Corey Heim at 5, Jake Garcia is at 4, and then Rajah Caruth at 3. So look for those guys to be up front trying to continue their personal streaks.
Yes, indeed. Now, prior to his 13th at Rockingham, that was the 7th race of this season, Chandler Smith finished inside the top 10 in each of his first 6 races. So we'll see if he can get back on that bandwagon.
I think so. And don't forget, if you go back and watch some of the reviews and previews we did to start the season, I still think he's a dark horse to come back and win this championship here in the Truck Series. Now, the last 21 Truck Series races have ended at the scheduled distance. That's the longest streak ever without an overtime finish in the trucks. The last overtime finish was at Darlington, and that was back on May 10th of 2024.
Okay, now 4 drivers are on the longest top 10 streak of their careers. Tyler Ankrum has 6, Jake Garcia 4, Caden Honeycutt and Gio Ruggiero are both at 2. So they've got the streak started. Let's see how far they go.
Well, and even here in the Truck Series, got to talk about Ford as they remain winless in 2025. However, they didn't win for the first time in 2024 until race 15. We're only at race 8 now, so it'll be okay.
Ford is also winless in the last 45 Texas races. Their last win was with Greg Biffle, and that came in June of 2000.
One last stat for Corey Heim. He has led the most laps in 4 of the last 5 races in 2025, but only won one of those 4 races. We've documented his issues there in the latter part of some of these races for sure.
Okay, let's talk about some drivers that have a hot start to the Craftsman Truck Series season throughout the first 7 races so far. Do you want to start, Jay?
All right, we got 6 different winners in the first 7 races, and that's tied for second most. There were 7 in 2012.
And each of the last 6 races of this year were won by different drivers, so no repeat drivers yet.
And the 105 lead changes and 58 leaders in 2025, that is the most ever through 7 races. We've talked about how competitive it is this year.
And not just in this series, but in all the series. 11 drivers have DNFs due to accidents in 2025, tied for the fewest through 7 races in 1995.
Well, we kind of talked about that too. We've seen they'd kind of settled down, so that's kind of interesting that they have set that record, or tied it at least.
Tied it, yeah.
Now we have 19 full-time drivers that have a top 10 finish in 2025, and that's the 3rd most all-time through 7 races.
And 28 different drivers have led a lap so far this season. That's tied for the most all-time through 7 races. They don't say what other season that could have happened, but it is tied for the most all-time.
And 7 full-time drivers have a top 10 average finish so far in 2025, and that's tied for the most through 7 races as well. And again, we don't have the other years that is tied with, but it is a tie. But you see that there's a lot of either most all-time or top 3, tied or otherwise. So again, quite a competitive year here for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Do you have any predictions on who's going to win at Texas this weekend?
Again, I kind of like Chandler Smith, but I think you mentioned it, Corey Heim. The average finish he has there, but second as his best finish. I'd be okay with seeing him win. It would continue the streak of different winners there at Texas, so I always like to see those streaks continue. But I do think this year we've seen some other teams, as we talked about, the ones that have had top 10 finishes on the 1.5 mile. There's certainly a couple that I think are going to get in there and mix it up with even the ones that we figure as the top favorites.
Yes. And I agree with you. Since you went with Chandler Smith, I'll take the low-hanging fruit and go with Corey Heim. I do think that Heim is in a prime position. He hasn't won there before. He did finish second last year. So I would say there's a good chance we could see Corey Heim in victory lane at the end of the day.
And I know for Talladega, we each had a couple of really feel-good stories. I think I mentioned Stuart Friesen having a victory here back in 2022. Has had a bit of a rough go. We know he was kind of dejected after Rockingham. To see him come back and get a win here would be absolutely amazing. And
that's a good point.
Definitely lift your spirits when you win.
It does indeed. There is a lot of competition, and I know it's going to be a fun race to watch.
And just taking a quick look at the point standings, we got Corey Heim, Chandler Smith, Tyler Ankrum, and Daniel Hemrick, your top 4, as they all have wins. Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Jake Garcia, Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt, and Stuart Friesen, your top 10. And Friesen now right at that cut line, 4 points above rookie Giovanni Ruggiero. Ben Rhodes also right below the line. So some big hitters there that we know either have won or are real close to it this year. You want to move up by winning.
Yes, and let's not forget, if you're picking a team for this weekend in the Truck Series, you've got 3 drivers that could also win it in Brandon Jones, Nick Sanchez, and Carson Hocevar. Those guys are in this race for a reason, and I'm sure they want that seat time. I would not rule any of those 3 out either.
Absolutely not. When you got another driver coming from another series, and we've seen that, good or bad, everybody has their own opinion on that, and we've discussed it. But getting seat time or sponsor agreements, Spire Motorsports with Nick Sanchez and Carson Hocevar in the '07 and '7. Granted, it's in the past it's been Kyle Busch and some other stronger drivers, but either one of those could step up as well. And with the Spire Motorsports truck right now, that's not out of the realm by any means.
So tune in. It's really, Daniel Hemrick's going to run a commemorative Napa scheme at Texas Motor Speedway. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I wouldn't count him out either. Now that he's got the monkey off his back with that victory, I think we might see more victories for Daniel Hemrick this year.
I think so. They say once you get that first one, it seems that they come a lot easier and more frequently. However, Tyler Ankrum was the exception to that rule, as we saw the record he set for between wins. But again, just always so close and in the mix, especially early in the season. They seem like a team that just comes out top 5 every week early in the season and just peter off at the end of the season. And hopefully they have that fixed for this year and have a focus on it.
Yes, I hope they do, because it would be a lot of fun, definitely to watch. And he does the backflip like Carl Edwards.
Yeah, I know he did for that one for sure. I don't know if he'll do it on a weekly basis if he were to start winning weekly. I know there was some talk about that. There is that risk involved with it.
Yes.
So yeah, you'd hate to then end up out of a championship because of it.
That's very true. Okay, anything more that you think we need to bring up here for the Truck Series race at the Texas Motor Speedway, the speedycash.com 250, 8 o'clock on Friday?
No, what I'm really looking for is one of the things you read early on. We're on a 6-race stretch. We don't have to worry about them taking a break or missing in action for the next 6 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. And this is where we're really going to see the top teams establish themselves as they go into that 6-week stretch.
Okay, I would expect that qualifying, they do have a qualifying order here. And so they will be doing qualifying, but for some reason it's not on the list of what to watch this weekend. Maybe it's not going to be on TV, but they are going to have a qualifying session.
Yeah, I don't see where it was going to be on TV, and we've seen that in the past where that the Truck Series don't. If it is, keep an eye on FS1, as they are the home to the Truck Series.
Yes, that's where you would be able to see it if they do have it. They do have the qualifying order up. They'll start with Stefan Parsons, and Tyler Ankrum will be the last car to qualify. So something to watch for the results that we'll be able to see. So with that, I think we'll just say watch for more coming soon. Jay and I, over the next few days, are going to be doing not just the Truck Series that we just completed, but we've got the Xfinity Series racing on Saturday, along with the ARCA Menard Series East racing at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and also the NASCAR Cup Series racing on Sunday. So we will be doing the previews for all of those races. And then, of course, on Monday, we review all of those races that took place over the weekend, along with our Hot Topic Sound Off segment that will take place at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, and 7 o'clock Pacific Time. So that's where we talk about all the hottest topics happening in our NASCAR world.
Look forward to that as well. So we'll talk to you in the next one.
Well, before we go, I want to say thank you for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. But yes, we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.